Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, it's Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Bears beat the Seahawks last night 24-17 on Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 2 of the NFL season. Chicago moves to 1-1 while Seattle falls to 0-2 on the season. The Patriots acquired wide receiver Josh Gordon from the Browns in exchange for a 5th-round pick. If Gordon doesn't play 10 games for the Patriots, New England will also get a 7th-round pick from Cleveland. Reports say Gordon should be ready to play for the Patriots this weekend against the Lions. The A's had last night off. They're now 4 back of the Astros, who fell to the Mariners 4-1 last night, and they remain 1.5 back of the Yankees for the first wild card spot. The Yankees did not play last night. Oakland is back in action tonight at home against the Angels. We'll have that game for you right here on Sports 1140. Pre-game's at 6:45. First pitch is at 7:05. It's 7:02. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party in historic Folsom. Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Matt Barrows of The Athletic come to us at 8:05 to do your Tuesday Niners roundup. He comes to you via the Fire Wings hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. Kyle, I have in front of me some numbers for you. The average ages through the first 2 weeks on broadcast networks, that's your CBS, Fox, NBC, of football viewers. CBS 50.7, Fox 50.6, NBC 49.4. That's what they call the graying of your broadcast viewers. For example, last year, CBS 49 years old, Fox 48.8, NBC 47.5. Now, you can extrapolate whatever you want from that. And I always warn people not to extrapolate too much from one set of numbers. People are changing their viewing habits. People that are connected to broadcast networks are skewing older because a lot of the younger demo is going towards your Hulus, your YouTubes, your PlayStation views. They're cutting the cord. I have changed my viewing habits. I used to be a diehard Sunday Ticket subscriber. And I would do the dance every year where I called DirecTV, and I would try to, quit and unsubscribe, totally bluffing until they finally were like, well, sir, if you sign another 2-year deal, we will give you an NFL Sunday Ticket and a Super Pass or whatever it's called for free. Okay, all right, I guess. I guess that's good enough to keep me around another year. And then I, repeat the same process. Well, about, we're a good year into it now. I cut the cord. Now, this isn't a sponsor segment, so I'm not going to say where I went, and I'm not trying to disparage any cable or satellite companies. Well, trust me, there are plenty of advantages with sticking with them. But I cut the cord. And I now use my Fire Stick or my what's the Google one? Chromecast in all my rooms. And what are my football viewing habits now? I pay I think it's $10 a month during the football season, so what, $40-50 a year, to watch the NFL Red Zone, not the one with Andrew Siciliano, but the one with the other guy who sounds weirdly exactly like Andrew Siciliano. So I have it on Red Zone, and then when the Niners or Raiders or, for example, last weekend I had all kinds of TVs and computer monitors and tablets going because you had the Niners, the Raiders, and you had the Jacksonville, New England game on. I will watch those, but generally, unless it's a huge game or it's my team or the Raiders, because I work here, that's how I watch football now. So I don't know how they get these ratings. I really don't, other than measuring your broadcast networks through Nielsen ratings, which is somebody on the text line is saying on the Jiffy Lube text line that it's archaic. It really is. So, yeah, I'll bet you that the broadcast viewers are graying. The Minnesota Vikings were one of a couple teams releasing their kicker. Head coach Mike Zimmer was asked about it.
What went into the decision today to let Daniel Carlson go?
Did you see the game?
Was it an easy decision?
No, pretty easy.
Give him props for being honest. Did you see the game? He cost us a win. I don't like the whole, that we play and we win as a team and we lose as a team, and we could have done many other things. It's not just on one. No, this was on one guy. You have one job: kick the ball through the yellow things. And if you can't do that, who's the guy? Hank Stram? Then the NFL stands for not for long if you're not doing your job.
Yeah, Jerry Glanville.
It was Jerry Glanville. That just popped into my head. I'm going through old NFL Films tape in my brain. Come on. And the other kid, the guy with the Browns.
Zane Gonzalez.
Yeah. I feel bad for these guys. I really do. I watched both Carlson's kick and Gonzalez's kick live, and I was really pulling for them.
It's a results-based league, man.
Dude, that's your one job. If you can't do it, you can't do it.
Do you think, and we got to get into our power rankings here, but do you think Zimmer even had to tell Carlson that he was...
it's funny. I thought about this.
Do you think he called him into his office?
I do.
And was like, hey, man, you saw what you did.
I think that's exactly kind of how it went. Hey, you know why you're here.
Or do you think as they walked into the locker room after the game, he said, pack your stuff and go home?
No, I think it was probably the next day. I think he got called in. I think he did it. I'm sure he did it. You got to be classy about it. It's not like the kid wanted to miss the kicks. You call him in. You say, hey, you probably know exactly what's going on. I'm not going to be around the bush. It's like what you just said. It's a results-based league. We got to make a move here. We wish you luck. You're a hard worker. Said some nice things about him. Probably has a couple of examples memorized of kickers that got cut that ended up making, Stephen Hauschka had to go play in the UFL for 2 years for Omaha. And then he won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. So you can be back. And the guy leaves and he's crushed. And, what do you do when you're an out-of-work kicker? Like, where are Carlson and what's his face? Daniel, what's his name? Where are they today? Like, what are they doing? Are they
kicking it?
Really? Let's get into our rankings, please.
Sorry, really resound there.
Roomba Foster. You just undid all of that.
Roomba Foster is the title of today's show, by the way.
Power rankings, top 5 teams.
Yeah, I got them.
Here's how we do our top 5 teams. You have never watched football before. This is your first year.
Except you have a working knowledge of football.
You understand the game. But what we're trying to say is that, like, the Patriots are going to be top 5, like, every week because of the Patriots, for example. Well, no, that doesn't count this year. This is just from what we have seen alone this season. Kyle, I usually go first and then say agree or disagree. You go first. I have mine written down. Here, okay. I'm showing the camera right now. By the way, just to let everybody know, we are video streaming.
I have mine written down, too.
Brought to you by Sac Republic FC and our good friends at Jiffy Lube. Go to KHK.com. Scroll down. Boom. There you go. There's our video stream. Play it, love it, live it. Go ahead, Kyle. Your top 5.
Number 5, I have your Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Sitting at 2-0.
I will say they're in my top 5.
The Bengals, 2-0. They've won 34-23 each of the first 2 weeks. They were dominant for most of their week 1 game. And then I didn't really feel like the Ravens were ever in it this past week on Thursday night. So I got the Bengals at number 5.
Attaboy.
Number 4, I have the Jaguars. They are 2-0. They looked really good. They looked really dominant against the Patriots.
Hold on. I have Cincy number 3 and the Bengals number 5. I meant to put the Jaguars at number 3. I have Cincy at number 3. I wrote down Cincy. And then for number 5, I wrote down Bengals.
Perfect. Good.
Okay.
I think they're that good. They're occupying spots number 3 and 5.
Yes, they are. Okay. All right, go ahead. So Jacksonville for you is number 4.
I have Jacksonville at number 4. It's escaping me who they played in week 1.
God, who did they play in week 1? Hold on. Who did the Jacksonville Jaguars play in week 1? I'll find it. Hold on.
Anyways, they're 2-0 and looked pretty dominant. They looked more dominant.
Giants, New York
the
Football
Giants. That's right. They looked more dominant than the score suggested this week. So they fall in at number 4. Number 3, I have the Chiefs because they score a ton of points, but they also give up a ton of points.
Mm-hmm.
They're up 21-0, and that lead evaporated very quickly. So that's why they're not higher for me. But Patrick Mahomes is my favorite player to watch. Number 2, I have the Buccaneers for the same reason. They're 2-0. Their offenses looked excellent, but their defenses also looked a little shaky. And then at number 1, I have the Rams. The Rams were as dominant as a football team has ever been on Sunday. The Cardinals took 1 snap in Rams territory, and it was the final snap of the game.
Interesting that you and I have the exact same top 5, just in a slightly different order. But we have the exact same top 5. On my list, pretty much the same. You said most of it. I've got the Rams at number 1, Chiefs at number 2, Tampa Bay at number 3, Jacksonville at number 4, Cincinnati at number 5. So we're
in lockstep.
I think we're both in agreement. The Rams look really good.
They look dominant.
Does the fact that you and I both have the Rams at number 1 in our 2-week power rankings mean that maybe, just maybe, because the Raiders were ahead of them by 3, the Raiders were ahead of the best team in football, according to you and me, at the half last week?
That's why the first half was so impressive.
That's why. Maybe the Raiders are much better. Maybe the Raiders are much better than we think.
Oh, snap.
Maybe not. We'll take a break. 4 down territory next. Patriot questions. Super Bowl matchup.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's the MVP so far, by the way.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is the MVP so far.
Accepting arguments for Patrick Mahomes.
Accepting a ton of arguments for Patrick Mahomes. I would just simply say Ryan Fitzpatrick is the best story. The best story in the NFL so far. James Conner.
Yeah, but you've never watched the NFL.
That's a great point. I said so far. I said the best story in the NFL so far. So that's okay.
Yeah, but if you've never watched the NFL, you don't know who Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
Yeah, he might actually be,
Right, he might just be a stud.
He's that UFC fighter that fought Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
That's what he looked like. Yeah, we got to get to more. I missed talking to you about Ryan Fitzpatrick yesterday. We'll get to more of that, plus 4 down territory next, right here on the Drive Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sundays belong to the NFL. Saturdays are for college football. But it all started first on Friday. Join Matt George and Charles T. Hamilton every Friday night for the Friday Night Football Show, presented by Wingstop.
Are you ready for some football?
Recaps, scores, interviews, players, and coaches from your team.
Friday Night Football.
Northern California's Friday Night Football Show on Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
Yeah!
Hey, Jason Ross here, and we all have financial questions. Like, what's the best way to use my tax refund? Do we have enough funds to renovate our kitchen? And are we putting enough money into our 401k? Whether you have questions about saving, spending, or anything in between, Bank of America's experienced financial specialists are here for you. Proudly serving the greater Sacramento area, so schedule that appointment at bankofamerica.com/conversation and start the conversation.
Sacramento, DC here, and the Dream Team is in the house. That is Beck's Furniture and Sleep Dream Team. I say Beck's Furniture and Sleep because Beck's can handle all of your furniture and sleep needs. No matter your budget, Beck's has you covered. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-piece bedroom sets, dressers, nightstands, armoire, kids' beds, you name it, Beck's has it. With 70 mattresses on display, you will sleep like royalty. Tell them DC sent you. Visit Beck's today at becksfurniture.com.
Beck's Furniture.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. For the moment, it's Patrick Mahomes' world, and we're just living in it. The former Texas Tech star, who celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday, credits former Chiefs teammate Alex Smith with helping him prepare during last year's redshirt season. To Smith's credit, he willingly mentored Mahomes, knowing that the howitzer-armed youngster would take his job. Smith said, Mahomes taught me how to make sure I was ready for any situation that presented itself in a game. I owe him a lot. According to Football Morning in America, another Alex Rodriguez, then a Texas Rangers teammate of Mahomes' dad, Pat, would take 6-year-old Patrick into the batting cage and analyze his swing on video. Being around those clubhouses was great for him, said the senior Mahomes. It taught him the value of hard work in sports and how professional athletes should act. I'm Boomer Esiason.
I'm Craig Ashton of the Personal Injury Law Firm of Ashton & Price. For the last 23 years, Ashton & Price has been focused on helping injury victims get through the maze of the legal issues presented when they are injured at the hands of another. When you call Ashton & Price, you'll always speak with an experienced lawyer. We deal with the insurance companies, and your only focus is getting back your health. There's never a fee until you win, so if you've been injured, call Ashton & Price for a free consultation.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hello? Hey, Dad. The AC guy says I need a new system, but my unit's only 8.
What'd he say the problem is?
He sort of just said it costs more to repair.
Did you call Bonnie?
Okay. Call Bonnie.
It's always best to call the professionals you trust. AC repair? Call Bonnie. Electrical? Definitely Bonnie. Space alien in your drains? Better call Bonnie.
Bonnie. Bonnie.com.
Call Bonnie!
License 69635.
Sacramento Republic FC is back in action Saturday, September 29th at Papa Murphy's Park, first of Portland Timbers 2. Game time, 7:30 p.m. Go to sacrepublicfc.com for ticket info.
It's time for 4 Down territory. On the drive, first down.
4 Down territory brought to you by Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from. Hey, firewings.com, just wing it. We'll make it 5 Down territory. Text line, good question. I've been asked this a lot over the last few days.
Well, this is the opening kick.
Dave, as an FSU diehard, do you start Jameis when he comes back? No, God, no. That would be the worst.
Comes back to FSU?
We could use him. Trust me. Put him in for DeAndre Francois. We're still going to suck. That's a whole different topic. No. First off, you don't start him if Fitzpatrick is doing anything even close to what he's doing right now. Number 2, horrific for team chemistry. He's well liked by his teammates, but he made a mistake, and because of his mistake, let me rephrase that. He was stupid again, and because he was stupid, and I'm being generous when I say stupid, he wasn't there for his teammates, and now somebody else has come in and busted his ass, and they're 2-0. And I don't care if they lose next week or not. What kind of message are you sending not only to your fellow teammates, but to Jameis Winston by just putting him back in?
Into your fan base, like what he did was gross, dude.
Yeah.
And it's gross in an isolated incident. It's even worse when you consider Jameis Winston's history.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. On a long list of things he's done that are either gross or allegedly really gross. And again, using the term gross is the understatement because we don't have time here. First down.
First down, where are we at? Are the Patriots still the AFC favorites?
No, they're not. And I don't know that they were the AFC favorites coming in. I really don't. And that's not just hindsight for me. I think Jacksonville's the best team in the AFC. And let it be said, Kyle, if Jacksonville doesn't win a Super Bowl in this run they have right now, it's going to be their own fault for not going out and getting Kirk Cousins, or for re-signing Blake Bortles, or for not trading. They couldn't have traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, but that type of deal. It's solely going. They have an insane defense. They have an all-world runner when he's healthy in Leonard Fournette in his second year now.
He's okay.
I like him. I think he's just fine.
You'll notice there's no drop-off in their offense when he doesn't play. Keep going.
Let's okay. If they don't win a Super Bowl, it's going to be because of Blake Bortles, and if they do win a Super Bowl, it will be despite Blake Bortles. Yes. And I don't think Blake Bortles is as bad sometimes as people think. I think he's capable, if he stays within himself, of being a what do they call it? A general. What's the term?
Game manager.
Game manager. Thank you. But I think they're the most talented team in the AFC.
Bad quarterbacks don't have the game that he had last week. He is below average, though, I think. And you can't lean on him week in and week out.
You're going to need a Dofer-esque performance.
The point I made yesterday in regard to the Patriots, and I wanted your thoughts on this. That's why I wrote this question down. But I feel like every year we start counting the Patriots out. And this is the year I'm not doing it. I'm calling them the AFC favorites until somebody unseats them.
I think that's fair. You get burned a few thousand times.
Yeah, like literally the last 5 years have been like, oh, this is it.
I'm telling you right now, the New England Patriots, barring some sort of devastating injury, I think the New England Patriots at best are the third best team in the AFC. The New England Patriots are, I'm saying it, September 18th, the New England Patriots will not be in the Super Bowl this year. And that's not going on some crazy limb. There's a ton of teams.
Sure.
I think this is it. Second down.
Second down.
How many current division leaders missed the playoffs?
All right, so let's see. I don't buy Miami, although they're a great upstart with a solid D. And when Ryan Tannehill is playing for this team, they're a different team. I don't think they make the playoffs. I don't think Cincinnati makes the playoffs because Marvin Lewis is their head coach. Jacksonville will make the playoffs. Kansas City will make the playoffs. If we want to count Denver in there, I'll come back to that. Technically, the Eagles, Redskins, and Cowboys are tied at the top of the NFC East. I will say the Cowboys and Redskins will not make the playoffs. And honestly, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs. I think it's a great story right now. I think in the end, 8-8, 7-9, 9-7. I have a hard time seeing them making the playoffs ahead of the Falcons or the Panthers. So I would say, in short, which is really long, Kyle, I would say the Bucs, the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Bengals, and the Dolphins will all miss the playoffs.
I think I agree with you. I'm not ready to put the Packers' name in stone yet either.
That's fair.
If Aaron Rodgers' knee injury is as severe as that brace indicates,
very fair.
They might be in some trouble. I'm not, but everywhere else except the Bengals. I think the Bengals do make the playoffs because I don't think that's a very good division, and I think it's there for the taking. And Cincinnati has looked very good through the first 2 weeks.
Last thing, are we going to need to come back to the Colts at some point because Andrew Luck's back?
I'm still waiting on them.
I am too.
They don't have a ton of talent around him.
They intrigue me though.
Yes.
Because of him.
Yeah, they're not. I'm not crossing them off. No.
Third down.
Third down.
Which 0-2 team has the best chance to make the playoffs?
Okay, which 0-2 team has the best chance to make the playoffs? I'm going to say the Houston Texans. I'm going to say the Texans because if healthy, their defense is just fine. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Deshaun Watson.
I should have said winless team. That's my fault.
Oh, okay. Well, then
the Steelers are 0-1-1.
If you're saying that, then I would say the Steelers.
Okay.
I would, but let's take that out. Let's keep it an 0-2 thing because Steelers are the answer, and then let's move on. Listen. I don't think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, or the Giants, or the Raiders, or the Cardinals, or the Bills, or the Lions. So best chance out of that. I'm not saying Houston's going to make the playoffs. I don't think Lamar Miller's that great, but I think Will Fuller does what he needs to do running routes. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a top 3 receiver in the NFL. I think Deshaun Watson, if he's back, and I'm still not ready to say he's back and not suffering a sophomore slump. I haven't been too impressed with him in the first 2 weeks, but if he's doing anything like he did last year and you combine it with that defense, I think Houston's a pretty decent team.
Yeah, Houston's got to be the pick. Just based on what we saw last year, the division they're in is not going to be great. The AFC is not great. If Houston can bounce back with a win this week and get on a roll, I like them. And I think Deshaun Watson's going to bounce back a little bit as well.
What if Houston bounces back this week and gets on a bagel?
Ooh.
Fourth down.
Fourth down.
Who's your Super Bowl matchup after 2 weeks?
All right, I'll do you one better.
We're going to have the same one.
AFC Championship game, give me the Jaguars and the Chiefs. NFC Championship game, give me the Vikings and the Rams. And I will go Jacksonville versus the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm going to go rematch of last year's AFC title game. Give me the Pats and Jags.
Okay.
And I've got to stick to it. I'm taking the Pats until a team proves they can beat them.
That's fair.
In January.
Lazy but fair. Who do you have in the NFC? I'm saying
Cool,
I don't mean that in
Cool.
a bad way.
It's not because the Patriots year in and year out take a couple of months to get rolling, and I think they're going to get there eventually.
Who do you have in the NFC? Rams?
Yeah, I have Rams Vikings as well. We'll see how the Eagles look once Carson Wentz gets back. So all due respect to the Eagles, right now after 2 weeks, I've got Vikings Rams and I got the Rams coming.
All right,
so I've got Rams Pats.
Interesting. As we go to break, the Philadelphia Eagles have never won a Super Bowl without Nick Foles behind center.
Great point. And the Philadelphia Eagles have never won a Super Bowl in a year after they've won a Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz has never won a Super Bowl.
That. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things stacked up against the Eagles.
From the 916, you just said the Cincinnati Bengals have looked really good, LOL. I mean, they've looked pretty good. We don't think they're great, but they've, like,
they're not going to win the AFC or anything, but why can they not win the division?
We also, in the same breath, I think both said they're probably going to miss the playoffs, or I did at least because Marvin Lewis. But
no, I think they have a real shot to win the division. I don't think they're going to make a run or anything.
I mean, the first 2 games, is that like in question that they look good in their first 2 games?
It's weird take.
They've won
Strange
2 games, 34-23.
Strange take.
Okay. When we come back, the Drivies. We do this every single week. We've got a Rookie of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week, and God knows what.
I think we need to label it correctly. It's Rookie of the Year of the Week, Defensive Player of the Year of the Week, and Offensive Player of the Year of the Week.
Kyle has the nominees. We will go back and forth as to who should win, and then we'll add in a few things too, including Minkah Fitzpatrick blocking, Fitz blocking, the greatest story of the year so far. And Antonio Brown, does he want to trade? You read his social media yesterday. Your heart might have skipped. We'll tell you about that next on the Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
These great moments in sports happen right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Bogey rolls right. He's straight away. Now he drives right. He plants. Tough 2-ball on the way. It's no good. Stick back to Aaron Fox. Came over the top, and he powered it down. The Kings have taken the lead with 3.3 seconds to go at 89-88. The rookie climbing the ladder. I mean, he exploded like he was on a trampoline.
This is Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
Fast is the nation's largest gig speed network. Beyond Fast is the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup. That means whether you're downloading big files, swiping credit cards, or emailing your sales team or customers, your business can go on even if the power goes out. When you're a business owner, you need speed and reliability. For a limited time, make the switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Just one more way you can take your business beyond. Get started with 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 10/5/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. So over the last couple of weeks, I've had several trips out to Stone's Gambling Hall, located right off I-80 at Antelope. And again, amazed. Just absolutely amazed every time I head into Stone's Gambling Hall. One of the nights I was there, they had a band playing great music while we were there, eating at Sammy's, having an incredible meal. Also having a good time with buddies, watching games on TV. Then we made our way to the gaming. And that is one of the coolest things because they gave a $25 match play when I downloaded the app and signed up for their player's card. My buddies did the same thing. It was very simple. Keep the card, keep accruing points, keep the app, keep getting specials. It's that simple. And if you like playing card games like poker or Baccarat or California Blackjack, my personal favorite, then you owe it to yourself to go and do this. It's that easy. $25 match play, and all you have to do is download the app. Make it simple for yourself and win some money with their money. Take my word for it. Download the app, sign up, and get $25 in match play only at Stone's. Again, located off I-80 at Antelope. Stone's Gambling Hall, the one, the only.
Subject to prior sale and approved credit. Excludes tax. 0 security deposit. 10,000 annual miles. 25 cents a mile over. Stock number R37296. See deal for details. Ends 10/1/18.
Here, Roseville, think Lexus. And for September, you may just want to think about upping your drive to a new elegant IS 300F Sport. Because the guys at Lexus of Roseville will make it oh so easy. Hey, it's Grant Napier. And nothing satisfies like driving a premium, well-crafted Lexus IS 300 sedan. Especially when you can lease one now for $369 a month. Your cash toward the deal is $39.99. Lexus will pony up $52.50 in lease cash. And then you're behind the wheel to experience amazing. And this one is the the F Sport package with goodies galore. You really just need to see it to understand how dynamic and thrilling this car really is. Stop in and say hi to my guys at Lexus of Roseville. Let them show you a new elegant IS300. They're in the Roseville Auto Mall and online at lexusofroseville.com. Hear Roseville, think Lexus.
Since we've had USAA, we've had two claims. We had an auto insurance claim and a homeowner's claim. The auto insurance claim, we were rear-ended, and my daughter was actually in the car when it happened. I called USAA. I downloaded the app, and from there on out, it was a very seamless process. They really understood, and they were actually concerned about my daughter's well-being and her safety.
From the moment he uploaded the photos to taking the damaged vehicle to the auto body and having a rental car there, USAA understands the day-to-day life. This is our home. These are our cars. This is where we pick up our kids from school. This is how we get to work.
I feel USAA is very committed to getting you back on your feet. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
See how much you could save with USAA by bundling your auto and home insurance. Get a quote today.
Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Product membership eligibility and bundling savings restrictions apply and are subject to change. Members paid for their participation. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Win tickets to America's Greatest Game Show, hosted by Eric Estrada, only at Cache Creek. Visit cachecreek.com for details. Sports 1140 KHTK's coverage of high school football is presented by Wingstop. Listen every Friday night to the Wingstop High School Football Wrap-Up Show and get all the coverage on KHTK.com.
Sports 1140 will be at King Kong Brewing Company, 1709 Del Paso Boulevard this Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Win prizes and enjoy great beers at King Kong Brewing, proud sponsor of Sports Fest.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Where are we at? There we are. This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Bears got to Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson 5 times, and Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also threw a couple of picks en route to a 24-17 win to cap off Week 2 of the NFL season. The Bears moved to 1-1 while the Seahawks fell to 0-2 on the season. The Patriots acquired wide receiver Josh Gordon from the Browns in exchange for a 5th-round pick. If Gordon doesn't play 10 games for New England, the Patriots will also get a 7th-round pick from Cleveland. Reports say Gordon should be ready to play for the Patriots this weekend against the Lions. The A's had last night off. They're now 4 back of the Astros, who fell to the Mariners 4-1 last night, and they remain 1.5 back of the Yankees, who also did not play. That's for the first wild card spot. Oakland's back in action tonight at home against the Angels. We'll have that game for you right here on Sports 1140. Pregame's at 6:45. First pitch is slated for 7:05. It's 7:34. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party in historic Folsom. Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Time for some fan mail on the Jiffy Lube text line. CD, you don't know crap about football. Bortles just had a great game without Fournette and outplayed crybaby Brady.
Oh, snap.
Man.
You know what? Hey, take the rest of the show off, man.
I know, and I already took yesterday off, too. Owned. Jeez.
The quarterback outplayed quarterback argument is the single worst argument in football. And people use it and that's not to bash specifically that texter, but
no, bash that texter
because I'm sure they're regurgitating stuff they heard on TV, and that's fine.
On jagswire.org.
.com.
No, I did that on purpose. Go ahead.
It's jagswire.com.
I'm talking about the bad version.
But you hear people say that all the time. Oh, Aaron Rodgers outplayed Kirk Cousins. Like no. They have to play against the defense they're playing against.
Yeah, they're one of 22 people that are part of, the team. And yes, the quarterback makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, but facing breaking news, facing the Jags defense is a lot different than facing the Patriots defense. You switch Bortles and Brady's defenses, I guarantee that game goes a lot differently.
Yeah, and is there anyone, for example, he outplayed Brady. Okay, let me ask you the next question. If you're a Jags fan, you have the opportunity to trade Blake Bortles for Tom Brady straight up right now. Is there a Jags fan alive other than, I hate Tom Brady?
No rational Jags fan is doing it.
Right.
If they say you're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl this year if you make this move, every single one's doing it.
Are we really debating whether or not Blake Bortles is a good or bad quarterback?
He's just a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a guy.
He has limitations that we saw last year. They reared their heads. Don't forget, he was awful against the Bills in the first round of the playoffs. He was very good against the Steelers. And then he was okay against the Patriots, but couldn't make enough plays down the stretch to win that game. And it is what it is. He's not the worst quarterback in the league, but he's not in the top half either.
Before we get to the Drivies, do you want to hear why Minkah Fitzpatrick is a D-bag, or do you want to hear about Antonio Brown being traded?
Give me Minkah.
Minkah Fitzpatrick has applied for a patent for the term Fitzmagic.
Hilarious.
That was filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office last week on behalf of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Last week.
That's amazing.
The intention is to use Fitzmagic to sell merchandise and apparel. It was primarily handled by his marketing team and representatives. Is there anybody around football that when you hear Fitzmagic ever is not going to...
I hope I never hear it again. I'm so tired of it, dude.
When you hear it, do you think of Minkah Fitzpatrick or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
I think of sticking my face in a toilet and flushing it.
Why?
Because I'm sick of it, dude.
I'm curious why.
Because it has been used ad nauseum for 2 straight weeks now.
Yeah. I'm just surprised.
Magic.
I'm just surprised coming from you.
Oh, and what about in Tampa Bay? It's fine. Like, it's a fine nickname.
You're usually the guy that's like, it's great, living their best life, have fun.
No, I don't. Have the nickname. I think it's great. And if you want to use it in a game when he throws a crazy touchdown, you're going, oh, and Fitzmagic strikes again. But when last night on the Monday Night Football broadcast, they referred to him 3 times, and all 3 times called him Fitzmagic.
Speaking of, am I alone here?
Like, dude, his last name is Fitzpatrick. You know, like, oh, and Fitzmagic out there in Tampa Bay. Just use his name one time.
I'm really hesitant to grade things early.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, if I'm a color, my color is unimpressed.
Nice, dude.
Thanks. With the Monday Night Football broadcast.
They're really not good.
It's not good.
And I try not to bash broadcasters because it takes a while to
you and I would cut off a digit to be a part of that broadcast.
Yes.
Let's be very clear on this. But they're out there, you get graded.
I would cut off a digit to be as good as that broadcast.
Well, Joe Tessitore is
he's great.
Phenomenal.
But Jason Witten is struggling through 2 weeks.
What did he say yesterday? You and I both picked up on it, too.
You like apples? How do you like them apples?
Boom!
What?
I think he said something like he's batting .285 in the knife and fork league. That was actually very good.
Really great.
And I'm sorry, dude. It's not his fault, but there's 2 things. Number one, I can't unhear who's the actor? Anthony Anderson when Booger McFarlane's talking. Whatever. But
I think Booger McFarlane's great.
Booger McFarlane, if he's so great, which he might be, let's just put him in the booth and put Witten on the field.
I think that needs to happen.
Because that whole on-field analyst thing is just weird. And not
it's
weird.
It's a way to have a 3-man booth
right,
without having 3 people standing around in the booth.
No. And it's not weird in the sense of, like, there's a lady calling the games where it's weird because you haven't experienced it before, but get used to it because it's fine. This is weird because it's different, but it's also not good. It's not good.
I think it would be better if the color analyst was better.
Yeah.
But Witten is brutal.
Witten's coming out of the blocks, and he may eventually be good and settle down.
Yeah. Not saying fire the guy, but through 2 weeks, the returns haven't been awesome.
You ready for the Drivies?
Yeah, please.
All right, the Drivies brought to you by...
Ooh.
We haven't done that in a while.
Brought to you by... ice trays.
Ice trays. Let me tell you something. If you're that big of a loser that you haven't figured out that freezers make their own ice now, there is no better way to go than an ice tray.
Come on, man.
Okay. All right.
No, the freezer in the home that I currently live in automatically makes ice.
Right.
A freezer in any apartment I will live in for the rest of my life probably will not have that.
If you
I gotta lean on ice trays, man.
If you want to impress your friends and have actual, like, you can freeze ice in ice trays of your team's logo.
Okay.
Of various shapes and sizes, some of them X-rated. I've seen this. Ice trays.
Catch the wave.
All right. Thank you. Are you? There you go. You're I got those levels. Those levels weren't good. You say the music was loud and the applause was low? If you see it on TV, I'm working with two hands here. I only got two hands.
I was working on the levels. I just turned down the wrong thing.
Welcome to the Drivies. Each and every week, we award Defensive Player of the Year of the Week, Rookie of the Year of the Week, Offensive Player of the Year of the Week.
We're going a step further this year, though.
So here's what we got, guys, and we'll put this out on Twitter, but this is going to be our bit all year long. Music's pissing me off. We're going to not only give these awards out on the air, but we have got medals and certificates. Kyle, fill for a second. I'm going to grab one.
What are you? Oh, you're going to get one of the medals? Yeah, so this is great because we're going, like Dave said, Dave and I are always down to commit to a bit. And when Dave came up with this idea, he was kind of like, this will probably never happen, but this is my idea. And we both kind of like stopped for a second and we're like, no, we're committing to this. We went on Amazon that day. Like as we were standing there, ordered these medals.
Ordered them.
We have one of our wonderful people working on a
certificate. Very, very professional looking certificate.
And it'll say, congratulations, so-and-so, you have won this. You have won the Drivey for Offensive Player of the Year of the Week for week 2.
Yep.
Dave and I will sign it, and we'll send it to him.
By the way, we're going to sign it in actual ink.
Yes, we're hand-done signatures.
Just know something about these medals. They're great because they're gold, and they have a red, white, and blue because America, little band. And it says winner on one side, but I didn't notice this before. It has something that looks very much like the Dallas Cowboys star.
That's fine.
Yeah, you think people?
It's just a star. The Cowboys don't have a monopoly.
They can always
stars.
flip over to winner.
So go ahead and continue.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take these certificates and medals, and we're going to do like what people did as a kid when they want an autograph or something. We're going to mail these out to the winners, care of their actual team. So, for example, if Jimmy Garoppolo won 1 week, we would send the certificate and the medal, Jimmy Garoppolo, care of San Francisco 49ers, blah, 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 Santa Clara, California. And we're going to make a note on there that when they receive it, if they would do us a favor and just tweet us that they received it, that'll be great. Our whole goal is to get just one person, one NFL player that we give this award to acknowledge that they got it, preferably with a picture of them holding the medal.
I think the ultimate is they're like holding it with like a whole posse behind them.
Yes.
That's the ultimate. Like they really just buy into the bit.
We just want one.
One.
Just one.
Did we agree that we would get a jersey of that player?
We will both get a jersey of that player.
I might go jersey.
No. The Drive expense account will actually cover this. Yes. We will both be getting a jersey of whatever player responds first, which will probably be the only player to respond.
I hope it's not a Seahawk.
And they will, I know, right? Okay, maybe if it's a Seahawk, like we'll just forget. No. Whoever it is,
we're committing to the bit.
Whoever it is, we're committing, and that will become the official player of the Drive.
Yeah. They'll be on posters, billboards.
All right. Rookie of the Year of the Week.
Brought to you by Ice Trays.
Kyle Madson, who is your nominees for Rookie of the Year of the Week?
First up, we've got Denver running back Phillip Lindsay. He went for 14 carries, 107 yards, averaged 7.6 yards per carry against the Raiders. He also had a catch for 4 yards. Didn't get in the end zone, though.
Did not get in the end zone.
That might impact his chances.
Nominee number 2.
New York Giants rookie running back Saquon Barkley. Now, you're going to look at his rushing stats, and you're going to go, why is he a nominee? He carried 11 times for 28 yards against Dallas. He caught 14 passes for 80 yards on 16 targets. He is the Giants' entire offense. So that's all. He gets a nomination this week.
And finally, your final nominee for Rookie of the Year of the Week.
Cleveland Browns wide receiver Antonio Callaway, 3 catches for 81 yards and what should have been a game-winning touchdown had Zane Gonzalez not shanked his second extra point.
Here's what we're going to do. We're each going to write down. Do you have a piece of paper in there, Kyle?
Yep.
We're each going to write down the name of our winner. Obviously, if we agree, that's your winner. And if not, we'll flip a coin. From the 530, good morning, Dave and Kyle. Dave, now is a great time for me to mention I asked you for an autographed picture and never got a response. I swear to God, I never got that.
Dave would have happily sent.
100%. I'd have to find a picture.
Yeah.
Well, probably wouldn't have been a picture of me. Send me your... that sounds so cheeseball, but no, send me your address. Come on, man. All right.
Hey, you'll get an autographed picture of me from Dave.
That is correct, but I'll sign it. All right, our winner of Rookie of the Year of the Week, Kyle, I wrote down Saquon Barkley.
That's who I have as well.
That's fantastic. Saquon Barkley.
Congratulations, Saquon.
Well done, Saquon.
I think he's going to be really excited about this. I mean, I know the Heisman is, cool and stuff, but...
Can't wear a Heisman around your neck without...
That's a great point.
Like,
I mean, you probably
problem,
could, yeah, but that would be very painful and very cumbersome as well.
All right, moving on here. Let's go with our... nominees, Defensive Player of the Year of the Week, and to present the nominees.
I want to throw out here real quick so people don't get angry and they can just enjoy themselves. We don't watch all 16 games thoroughly.
Speak for yourself.
We're kind of going through and just finding the performances that really jump out. So maybe we missed one.
And
if we
feel
did,
free to text us in.
Shoot us a text. Yeah, let us know.
441140 if you've got an argument. All right,
Okay,
Defensive Player of the Year of the Week. The nominees are...
where are we at? Jarrell Casey of the Tennessee Titans, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. But I also, honorable mention goes to Kevin Byard, the free safety for the Titans, who threw a touchdown, and the backup safety, Dane Cruikshank, who caught said touchdown, 66 yards. But that was a special teams play. They don't get in.
You can take Kyle Madson out of the Titans, but you can't take the Titans out of Kyle Madson.
Nope, don't even try it. And then a couple of players from last night's game. First up is Shaquille Griffin for the Seahawks. Had a couple of interceptions in that game. He also tacked on, 4 tackles. He knocked down 3 passes. Had a great game for them. And then Khalil Mack, just in general, a game wrecker. 5 tackles, 1 sack, a tackle for loss, forced fumble. And was applying pressure all night. Was the best defensive player on the field.
Are you ready for your winner?
Yeah.
Have you written him or her down?
Yeah.
Good job, Kyle.
Thank you.
You see how the audience applaud?
Yeah.
Stopped applauding and then immediately started
like,
applauding.
oh,
That's
yeah, he's actually
pretty
done.
amazing. All right. The winner of your Defensive Player of the Year of the Week. Sorry, Raider fans. I wrote down Khalil Mack.
I did as well.
Aha! Fantastic.
That was a choice that I made watching that game because if he wasn't hitting or sacking the quarterback, he was just wreaking havoc in the Seahawks backfield and taking advantage of their bad offensive
Was
line.
it you or somebody sent me last night? It was on Twitter. I get a couple things. It was Khalil Mack's stats versus the Raiders stats.
Oh, yes. Yeah, someone sent that to me earlier this morning.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Offensive player of the week. All right. From... A lot of people ask me if this is the E.T. soundtrack. No, it's a mishmash of the Open to the Oscars in 2015. You know, the symphony couldn't be here today. Sorry. So we had to do with what we have.
First up, it's as obvious as it gets. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 27 of 33, 402 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick, a 144.4 quarterback rating. He was outstanding.
Outstanding work by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Kyle, do you also give him bonus points for his post-game presser performance? Should that count at all in the judge's decision?
His voice is not what I expected him to sound like.
No.
It really threw me off yesterday.
You know he went to Harvard. Did you know he went to Harvard?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were on. I'm sorry. I was talking about somebody else.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I was switching my stats here to make sure I had the stats up for the next nominee.
Yeah.
And had that person in my head when you said post-game.
Oh, because I just kind of rolled over it like I didn't want to disagree with you, but in my head I was like, well, Ryan Fitzpatrick actually sounded like Ryan Fitz. Okay.
Right. Incredible post-game, and him saying we have to stay humble.
Yes.
And all that. Just really funny. Really
Should
good
that count
really good
in your decision for the winner?
No, it cannot.
It cannot count.
No.
Okay, Kyle has made a decision.
Yeah.
All right, Offensive Player of the Year of the Week, nominee number 2, Kyle.
None other than Patrick Alabaster Mahomes. Throwing the L in there in Alabaster really threw me off. 23 of 28 for 326 yards, nearly 12 yards per attempt. He threw 6 touchdowns, no picks, and racked up a 154.8 quarterback rating.
Wow,
Patrick Mahomes.
Really, really good. And meaningless nominee number 3 that's not going to win it.
Speak for yourself, buddy, because I've got this guy on 2 fantasy teams. Michael Thomas, 12 catches. Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas, 12 catches, 89 yards, a pair of touchdowns, helping lift the Saints to a win over the juggernaut Cleveland Browns. Your third nominee.
Yeah, great job, Michael Thomas. Awesome.
Honorable mention, Derek Carr. Derek Carr has to get mentioned in here.
He should.
He completed 29 of his 32 throws for 288 yards and a touchdown. Any other week that gets him in the real nominees, but this week with some of the quarterback performances, couldn't put him in the top.
What about, can we also give honorable mention maybe to A.J. Green, 3 touchdowns.
A.J. Green, 3. Ben Roethlisberger.
And Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, really tough to whittle this down to 3.
All right.
So I threw Michael Thomas in there.
Yes.
As a personal nod because he just dominated this week.
I think.
But I think we're on the.
I think we may have our first disagreement though.
I think so too.
I really do. I think we're gonna have our first disagreement. As I pause this ad that played after my music. All right. The winner, maybe.
All right, say it on 3.
Of the Offensive Player of the Year of the Week. Okay, wait, hold on. Just last names? Just last name or first and last name on 3?
Last name.
Just last name.
Yeah.
Okay. The winner of the Offensive Player of the Year of the Week. 3, 2, 1. Mahomes. Oh! That is fantastic. I really thought you and I were going to disagree.
As great, if you take the story out of Ryan Fitzpatrick's performance,
and he's been great.
We need to stop this culture of talking up one player as tearing down another. This has nothing to do with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
His beard is weird.
His story is incredible. His post-game press conference is amazing. But in a vacuum, Patrick Mahomes had a better game than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Patrick Mahomes threw
on the football field.
He threw for 6 touchdowns.
6, dude.
Against the Steelers.
In Pittsburgh.
And no picks. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns in the first 2 games, 3 of his career. But the first 2 games of this season, 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know, let me check. Is that good? It's very good. So congratulations. I thought you might go Fitzpatrick.
Nope. I don't let the off-field stories impact my decisions.
Congratulations to Saquon Barkley, Khalil Mack, Patrick Mahomes. Of those 3, Kyle, which I think we should add to this bit too before we go to break.
Okay.
If you had to bet $100,000 that you nor I have, which player is most likely to respond to the gold medal and official The Drivies Award recipient certificate? Khalil Mack, Saquon Barkley, or Patrick Mahomes?
I think Mahomes.
I'm going to go Mahomes too because he's still young.
Yes. But he's not like this year's number 2 pick where Saquon Barkley's in New York.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a lot going on. He doesn't have time for us.
Sleeper, though, Khalil Mack, because we're
in Northern
California. Yeah. If he answered and we had to go get Khalil Mack jerseys,
I would not even be mad, dude.
Bro,
I wear it every day.
That would be like the worst for Raider fan.
Oh yeah.
Like, how bad?
I would happily wear all 3 of these jerseys.
Do you go get a Khalil Mack Raider jersey or Bear jersey?
Bears.
Okay.
Nah, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
University of Buffalo.
Yes. There you go. Everyone's happy except Raider fan. We'll take a break. When we come back, Matthew W. Barrows of The Athletic will join us. We'll do a little Niner roundup. Ooh, Niners Wires, Kyle Madson versus The Athletics, Matt Barrows. Going to be an interesting test of minds and knowledge.
You're just like, subscribe to The Athletic. I'm like, no, don't do that. You can get free content at NinersWire.com. I rip a bunch of Matt's reports anyway, so.
That would be, you just jump in, psych, free content, baby. All right, we're back in a couple.
Subscribe to The Athletic. Matt's wonderful.
Sports 1140. Oh, that's the whiteout you put on it. Good job. KHTK. We're right back.
Matt Barrows, Athletic.